Hey everybody, happy Friday. I hope you guys had a good one, a good week. Um, I'm a little late coming on tonight, but still wanted to come on. I hope you guys had a good Friday. It's been quite the week over here, and I'm sure for you as well. But I did want to come on in, connect, and share tonight. So I'm here at home because I had a lot of things I had to catch up at home. This week I took my boards yesterday for 7.5 hours. Um, there were some things that I kind of let slip in preparation for that. And so that what I was going to talk about tonight was kind of basically getting back on your wellness walk when you've kind of fallen off. So, things that you can do when you've kind of fallen off, because all of us at some point when you're, trying to do big things, just going through this world, you are going to fall off. And, it happens and you can get back on. So I was going to share about tonight. First, just to let you know who I am, my name is Dr. Delicia Haynes. I'm board certified in family medicine and obesity medicine, and I'm the founder and CEO of Family First Health Center. And what I really enjoy doing is I shine a light for medical students in their darkest hour, helping them overcome stress and depression. And that's one of the main reasons that I, come on, hey Nina, is to encourage people and to, speak about different aspects of mental health and depression, and to really just shine a light. And I was so happy that earlier this week I was talking to one of my patients who had been going through some things and is doing a lot better now. And she mentioned that how much of a light I was shedding for her, which was it was beautiful to, it's always good when you get the feedback that what you're doing is actually making a difference, because sometimes you don't get to see transformation that's happening for other people. So it's always nice when you you see that your work is making an impact. And for those of you who aren't seeing it, realize that sometimes you don't get to see it. So sometimes it's happening in the quiet and it's happening in their own world and you don't get to see it, but it's happening. So, but that's who I am. And again, I just wanted to come on tonight and share just, 5 easy things that I've used to help myself kind of get back up on track when I fall off, because it happens to me as well. Like I mentioned, this week I was taking my board exam, which every 10 years we have to sit for this really long exam over the breadth of family medicine. And some family medicine covers just about everything. So it's pretty broad. And because it had been so long, I think the last time I had a board examination was in 2013 when I took my obesity medicine boards. It's not a day-to-day thing for me, the type of studying that I would do in preparation. And so unintentionally I fell off of a lot of things that I was doing that helped me to kind of maintain. It's all about kind of getting back on, and so that's why I'm coming on and talking to you guys now. So the first thing that you can do is to really just show yourself some love. And one of my colleagues, Dr. Diane, she always talks about just kind of giving yourself a big hug. But definitely doing that. One of the things that I made sure that I did before my exam was the day before I scheduled a massage. And I scheduled it a while back because I kind of knew that the week of might be a little bit of a hot mess sometimes. So I made sure that I had that as a hard stop for me to just kind of chill out before going into an exam. Because whenever you're going into an exam like that, where you're going to be, in front of a computer or testing or any kind of exam for a long period of time, one of the most important things you can do is make sure that you're getting a lot of rest and relaxation, and especially the day before, but even a few days before that. So thank you, Jerry. I got, a marvelous massage. And I slept really well, so I was able to be up and focused for the majority of the hours of the test. Toward the end there, I had a massive headache and was about done, but got through it, which is what's most important. So show yourself some love, and I always go to the 5 love languages. That book, I know I talk about it a lot, but I think it's really helpful in relationships with other people and your relationships with yourself. So, my top is acts of service. So I made sure that this week I either hired people to help me with certain things, certain services, things that I needed to get done, because that's one of the ways that I show myself love and I show myself support is to speak my own love language. And so sometimes we look for other people to do things for us that you can do for yourself. And so, recognizing whatever yours is, whether it's acts of service or physical touch or words of affirmation or gifts, whatever yours is, that you can speak your own, love language. So show yourself some love is number 1 as far as getting back on track. The second one is to understand your patterns. So we all have patterns. This is not the first time you've ever fallen off of something. So we all have patterns, and you can kind of reverse engineer what happened beforehand. So for me, again, it had been a while since I had taken one of these board certification examinations and kind of been in that mode. And I remember back in medical school, a lot of physicians take on really unhealthy habits because of the stress and the time constraints that you're under. And you whether it's what you're eating, what your fuel is, you're just going for quick stuff, got to get it in. Usually people taking a lot of caffeine because they're trying to stay awake. And for me, it wasn't so much that. It was there are things that I do to fill my cup and things that I do as stress relievers that, they require time. And I stole time from those activities to give to studying. But I really needed to be doing those activities. So, I really enjoy dancing as one of my stress relievers. But when I was looking at my day, looking at my hours and deciding when I was going to use for studying, I stole some of that time, from dance so that I could go and study. And then I was wondering why I was feeling kind of stressed out at one point. And, I just recognized that, my physical outlet that we all need, I had given up. And I didn't hold really strong barriers around, that outlet being just as important as anything else that I do to maintain. So, recognize what your own patterns are so that you can really be on guard, for those things coming back up. So in the future, if you have a test or whatever is going on, you can kind of put yourself in a better position where you can support yourself and so maybe you won't fall off. So that was number 2, is to recognize your patterns. The third one is to take action, and those actions can be really small. I'm one, sometimes I just go for I want to make big changes and just get in gear. But really, it's the little things. It's the small changes that add up to the big things. So, today, post-test, I still had the headache from being in front of a screen all day, but I got up and I washed my hair. And those were the 2 things that I got done. And I talked to a couple patients, and that was it. Those were, they were small actions compared to what I would normally get done in a day. But I also recognize in this very strange season in my life, and some days we just need to kind of dial back our own expectations. We're still going to get things done. It just might not be at the pace that we're used to. But all action and all steps in the right direction are steps in the right direction. So just, get into action of some sort helps you when you've fallen off. And then the 4th thing was to keep it easy. So I always whenever someone joins my team, they get one of these little Staples easy buttons, because I think it's important to, whatever you're trying to get done is to look at ways of making it easier. And because things that are easier are more likely to get done. and also have a little bit less stress around them. And one of the things that I don't want for my team is for them to be stressed out, because then they can't take as good a care of our patients. And that's not the type of environment that I want to work in either. So, looking at ways that you can make things easier. I mentioned again before that, my primary love language is acts of service. So, I'm blessed to be in a position now where sometimes I can hire people to help me with things that I need done. But even when I wasn't, if I had friends that had certain gifts that I don't have, definitely reaching out to them and really allowing them to help me, that's an area of growth for me, because I don't always ask for help. I don't always receive well. So that's an area that I'm working on still. So gotta make sure everybody's still taken care of while I'm doing this. Gotcha. So keep it easy. And then the fifth thing is to not do it alone. So I'm definitely one of those that will sometimes go off and, just kind of get in my little corner and just, work and, not want to take people down with me if I'm not doing well. But it's really, again, friends were made for adversity. They were made to support you, and especially when you're going through it. And it's so important to have an accountability partner and someone that is, helping you and looking out for you. I don't know what I would have done this year, especially without a number of people in my life, most of whom just happen to be physicians, who have just helped me and who have assisted me. So make sure that you are not going it alone, because when you're held accountable to someone else, it really helps you stay accountable to whatever your wellness goals are, to just, to stay there. So those were really the main things. I'm not going to hold you guys too late, but just to go through them again. The first one is to show yourself some love. So, make sure you're giving yourself some hugs, find out what your primary love language is if you haven't, and make sure that you are speaking your own love language. Don't wait for somebody else to show it to you. You can show it to yourself. So show yourself some love, recognize your patterns. It's probably not the first time that you've ever fallen off of, your wellness goals before. Recognize your patterns, see what it is that keeps coming up where you tend to fall off. Again, for me, it was, going through these intense kind of setting moments. For you, it may be something different, and there's probably some things that you can do to support yourself so that doesn't happen. But if you don't recognize the pattern just repeats and repeats. And so, you have to recognize the pattern. And then the third thing is you actually have to do something about it. So the action part. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a really small thing. The fourth, keep it easy. Keep it simple. That KIS, keep it simple. It doesn't have to be hard. Find easy ways to kind of hack your day, to kind of make those little small changes. And then the fifth, and one of the most important, is do not do it alone. So, you've got goals, you've got things that you're trying to get done. Some of you may know that I'm working on my first book, and I've actually got it in front of me because it's got some things that are due now. And I don't think you can see like how many red marks there are all over this. And I was a little straight A student when I was coming up, so I'm not used to seeing all this red. But so I'm, it's really easy to get overwhelmed about all the things that you have on your plate. But it's so helpful when you're not doing it alone. When you have other people that you can ask questions, that you can lean on. So, whatever you're trying to do, make sure that you find your tribe, make sure that you find your accountability partner. Just make sure that you're not trying to do it totally solo, because really no one ever did. All right, so I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Again, Dr. Delicia, Family First Health Center, the founder and CEO of Family First Health Center. And again, I come on here really to shine a light for medical students, helping them overcome stress and depression. You can follow me across social media at Dr. Delicia MD. That's DrDelicia MD. All right, take care.